an, the. They're pesky little buggers, aren't they? So what is the best way to get really, really good at using those tricky little words when you're speaking English? Aha, stay tuned, because I've got the answer for you, but not until after we roll that intro. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in this big wide world of ours you're tuning into us today from. Did that even make sense? Was that grammatical? I don't know. Bugger it. I'm Julian Northbrook, and this is Doing English. Occasionally I review academic papers. It's about the only thing that I do in this world on a voluntary basis, because I don't get paid for it. I do it because I enjoy it, but also because, hey, showing a bit of goodwill to the academic journals is only gonna make getting my own research published just that little bit easier. Right? Right. I don't know if you know anything about the scientific publishing system, but basically the way it works, a scientist or a researcher, somebody like myself who is doing research, whatever field it is that they do it in, for me it's obviously second language acquisition, they will do some research and then they will write that up into a paper and submit it to the academic journal of their choice. Then they will wait for a while whilst that journal sends their paper out to reviewers who will read the paper, write a critique or a review and give their feedback and all of that good stuff, as well as a note saying should it be published or not published or what have you, which they then submit back to the journal. If all the reviewers say, great, this is brilliant, the article then gets published. If the reviewers all say, no, this is shit, or if they say this needs to be changed, this needs to be changed, or this needs to be changed, then it goes back for revisions and you get the idea. Well, when you're reviewing these papers, you get a mixed bag. Some of them are, let's say, pretty shitty. Quite a few of them, in fact. Some of them are pretty good. And occasionally you get ones which are solid and really, really quite good. The one that I reviewed today was one of those, and it made my happy bone tingle, I can tell you. Now, this particular paper, it's all anonymous, so I have no idea who wrote it, but it was pretty good. The writing itself left somewhat to be desired. It could have been tidied up a little bit. It could have been phrased a little bit better in places, just to make it clearer, easier to read. But the research itself was solid. Basically, the researcher was looking at function words, little words like an, the, of, you know, those tricky little critters that just trip us up all the time. No matter how advanced we get in a second language, they still seem to trip us up. We make mistakes, we get them wrong on a fairly regular basis, and sometimes it seems like they are impossible to learn. And indeed, there are some, I will say, quite famous English experts out there who claim that learning the function words and truly mastering them to a native-like level is impossible, which frankly is bullshit. If you're finding it hard, if you are struggling and unable to actually improve and get good at using them, well, the methods that you're using are wrong. Now, this paper was looking at these function words and mistakes that are made with them. But what made the research special was that the researcher was actually looking at mistakes made with these function words as they appear in chunks. And indeed, almost all function words do appear in chunks. That is, they're not used by themselves as discrete individual words. They appear as a part of a larger chunk of English. And this research paper was looking at erroneous, malformed chunks of English because the function word had either been missed or mistaken in some way. So for example, the chunk at the end of the day, maybe the person had said at the end of day, where the had been missed out from the chunk. At the end of the day, at the end of day. And the conclusion that the paper came to was that we can, and almost definitely should, teach and learn in chunks as a way of mastering these little tricky words like an, and the. You see, instead of trying to get to the bottom of versus the and which one we should use in which place and trying to consciously work all that out in our heads as we're speaking or producing language, much better is to actually just learn in chunks in the first place that we learn as a single complete whole and use as a single complete whole. Because if you learn that it's at the end of the day instead of it's at the end of day, well, then you don't need to worry about it. You just learn it and you use the chunk, boom, as is. So we've gone from something which is really, really complex and really difficult to learn to something which is dead simple, and the result that we get from either approach is exactly the same, except this way is a lot easier to do. I, of course, have been saying this anyway for a long time. What can I say? The academic world has not caught up with the greatness of Julian Northbrook yet. Or perhaps I should have got off my arse and done such a research project and got it published first. But hey, no use crying over spilled milk, is there? But the point is, if you are struggling with the little words, then change the method that you are using. Stop looking at them as words and grammar and trying to work it all out from there, and start seeing the English language as a set of chunks to learn and to use as is, and just don't worry about the function words. Just learn in a way that makes them irrelevant. If you want to know more about chunks and how native speakers use them to speak so fluently and naturally, and how importantly you, the English as a second language learner, can learn in the same way to speak as native speakers do, you're going to want to check out my best-selling book, Master English Fast, an uncommon guide to speaking extraordinary English, where I talk at length about the chunking process and how you can learn in that way so that you can speak in that way. Function word error free. Great. Just click on the link in the description or head over to masterenglishfast.com. It comes as a paperback version, a Kindle version, and either way, it comes with a complete audio version for your listening enjoyment. Right, that's it from me, Julian Northbrook, signing off from another video. Take care, don't get caught doing anything that I wouldn't do, and I'll see you same time, same place as always in the next extraordinary video. Thank you, and goodbye. Are you sick and tired of forgetting all of the vocabulary that you learn as quickly as you learn it? If you are, you're going to want to check out this video right here, where I give you 3 ways to stop forgetting everything you learn. And if you want to know which language is the closest to English, you're going to want to check this video out right here. Enjoy.